was recently tagged by a friend of mine named Joey, who has a very nice channel that I enjoy very much. And that channel is called My Slice of Heaven. And Joey's tag to me was, okay Timber, Joey's tag to me was to give 5 reasons why I YouTube. And I've had that tag, I've known about it for a couple of weeks now, given it some thought, and the sun is very bright in my eyes here. It's roasting here. It's got to be above 0. Anyways, it's I think I have one reason why I YouTube, and 4 benefits is probably the way I'm going to do this. And the main reason I started YouTubing is because as I get a little older, and I'm spending well over 50 years now in the bush, and I've learned a little bit, probably nowhere near what I could have, but a fair bit, and I have absolutely nobody to pass it on to. So it occurred to me, I started my channel actually so that I could just communicate with some of the other channels, as probably a lot of us did. After a while I got thinking that, well, perhaps that's a way for me to share some of my experiences, some of what I do, some of the fun that I have out there, and pass it around to somebody so that if there's anybody out there interested, they might get inspired at least. They might learn something. There's people with more experience than I do who won't learn anything. Maybe they'll just enjoy the videos. But at least if I can inspire a few people, I'd be pretty happy with that. Item number 1, and the reason I decided to actually create my own videos, is because I don't have anybody to share my experiences with or my enjoyment of the outdoors. And so this was my opportunity, I thought, to share some of what I do, some of the interesting things that I do that I feel are interesting, with everybody else. So hopefully that will have been a good thing. The first of the benefits was, that I hope was a benefit, is that I do get to share that information. Hopefully it will inspire somebody, and if it gets even just a couple people out there, then that's awesome. And if it just gives pleasure to some people, that's awesome too. So that's my reason and my first benefit. So moving on to the second benefit, I think the second benefit really ties in with the first one in a lot of ways. If people see what's out there, there's a lot of people who live in cities or in very populated areas who really aren't aware of all the possibilities that are out there. And I think that if we're not aware of it, we're not going to take advantage of it. So I think if I can show people what nature can be like, how beautiful it is, and how peaceful it can be, how much that it can help you relax when you're out there. That's the type of thing. I go out and I just soak up. It's like a sponge. I can just soak up the quiet and the peacefulness of it. And it's, if you're having a tough day for whatever reason, and you can spend a couple of hours out wandering around, take the dogs for a walk, something like that, for whatever reason excuse you use to do it, as long as you do it, that's a real good thing. It's good for you, it's good for your dog if that's what you're doing. And I think maybe you'll take your children along, and at a young age that's the time to encourage them to develop an appreciation for it. I guess the third thing that I consider a benefit, maybe, and again, all the benefits are tied to people watching this, obviously, and I think that we as human beings don't appreciate, put value on, or take care of things that aren't of high value, high importance to us, things that we love, basically. Unfortunately nowadays a lot of that revolves around material things, but I think nature is getting to be a point where we need to desperately pay more attention. And if we don't love it, we don't take care of it. So if we can encourage, especially the young people, to get out and enjoy the outdoors, learn about it, appreciate what we have out there. Don't just see it as a dollar sign because of the material you cut down. If we can learn to love it, then hopefully we'll take a lot better care of it. And I get criticized sometimes by people who say, well, you're out there cutting down trees and so on, and you're part of the problem. But when you think about it, if it comes to deforestation, think about what's in your own home. The house itself is probably framed up out of wood. The floors and the joists and the rafters and everything are almost certainly all wood. Probably a great deal of the furniture in your house is framed up out of wood. Every book, every piece of paper that you write on, every piece of paper that you read, every newspaper, every single piece of paper that comes through is a wood product. All those things. So the amount of for people who burn wood for firewood or so on, is a small, tiny drop in the bucket to the world's use of pulp and paper. And I think we need to really sit down and think about where else stuff all goes. Don't try to lay the blame on the person who's out there having a campfire. We got to learn to love this planet while we still have enough of it left unruined to really make a difference. And the final benefit that I get from this, which doesn't really surprise me, but it certainly wasn't something that I gave any thought to when I started this, is the number of people that I've met along the way, who, or at least virtually met, I guess is the word, and becomes virtual friends with, if you want to put it that way. But there's an awful pile of nice people out there, and people who are from all over the world. I speak to people on through the videos and through the comments, and my comments back to them, from Denmark and Germany, and a lot of people in the United Kingdom and England and Wales and Scotland, South Africa, not to mention Canada, and of course probably the majority of the people in the US, but even South America. There are people from all over the world. It's amazing. And when you get away from all the politics and all that nonsense, we're all people, and we all enjoy the same thing, and we all just talk like friends. And I think that's a lesson that maybe a lot of people in governments could learn, but I don't want to get into that kind of conversation. But just the people, it's been amazing. I've met through these comments and my comments that some really awesome people that I've kept in touch with, and that I would be very happy and do call my friends. So this is my take on why I started YouTubing, and as long as anybody's interested, and as long as I think I have anything of any interest or value to share, I'm going to continue to do it, I hope. I live in a very beautiful remote area where I have just thousands and thousands of square miles, tens of thousands of square miles really, to go out there and enjoy it. And there's a lot of people that just don't have that option. So at least for them, maybe they can get some pleasure vicariously through my travels out there. So I want to thank you for joining me. It's been a lot of fun. It'll continue to be a lot of fun, I hope. And look at that. And I'm just really glad that I got doing this. I'm glad that I've met all of you people who are my subscribers, and all of the people who comment who aren't subscribers. That's fine too. It's just been a real pleasure, and it's been a real pleasure to meet all of the people that I've had the opportunity to comment with. So have a great day, have a great weekend, all the best to you, and hopefully we'll see you out on the trail.